Joining me now is Ambassador John Bolton. Ambassador, thank you very much for joining us today. First of all, your reaction to President Trump's just the comments that, you can't have it for life and you can hire your own.
Well, there are a number of us who were receiving protection from different parts of the government, depending on where we spent our time when we were in government, from these Iranian threats in response to the elimination of Qasem Soleimani. I was given renewed Secret Service protection by President Biden because the consensus was the threats were real. As you said, it resulted in a Justice Department filing of criminal charges against a Revolutionary Guard official who was trying to hire an assassin to kill me. They just arrested a Pakistani national in New York who was doing the same thing to find someone to go after Trump himself. So he knows this threat is real. And I was told as recently as the weekend before the inaugural that the threat level was the same as it had been since the beginning. And that was true for everybody in connection with the Soleimani issue, not just myself. The people who are receiving protection or used to receive protection would be the happiest people around if we could say the threat level had disappeared. None of us want protection for life. And the idea that we can pay for our own, sure, we can always pay for our own. I'm not arguing anybody's entitled to anything, but I do think for continuity of government, for encouraging people to serve, that when you come under threat like this from a bunch of barbarians like the regime in Tehran, that it makes sense for the government to provide protection for what you did when you acted in the service of the government. And let's remember, in the case of Soleimani, that operation, which was the correct thing to do, was authorized by Trump himself.
And do you have any insights into why Secretary Pompeo, former Secretary Pompeo, who endorsed Donald Trump in 2024, yes, he did briefly consider running himself, but I think there was one tweet that was marginally critical of going online for major pronouncements. But for him and Brian Hook and others under the Iranian threat?
Well, I think if you believe that the decision to extend protection should be threat-based, then the decision to remove protection should be threat-based. It should certainly not be based on political differences or the fact you've got a petty, vindictive person as president who doesn't like any criticism at all. Obviously, I'm personally involved here, so people can take that into account. But looking at this institutionally, as a government, these Iranian threats, I think, are tantamount to threats of war against the United States. And, if one of us did suffer harm or were killed by the Iranians or through a proxy, I would think the United States would have to retaliate. So, as usual, Donald Trump is getting in the way of his own objectives. He says he doesn't want more wars in the Middle East. This is practically an invitation to Iran to come after people that they don't particularly like.
Let me just say about the Iranian threat and how real it is. We were reporting some months ago that the Iranian Revolutionary Guard, or Iran, which is part of the government, obviously the military wing, had hired someone who was a Hell's Angel because they would be less obvious in terms of detection, who came across the border from the north and was in Maryland to go after an Iranian dissident. And there was, of course, the case in Brooklyn of the journalist and the outspoken critic. And let's talk about the fact that these threats these fatwas are lifelong. How many decades was it before Salman Rushdie was grievously injured in an assassination attempt in Chautauqua that, blinded him in one eye and caused a great deal of injury? So it's a continuing threat. I also wanted to ask you about the pardons of 1,500 people who were charged in connection with the January 6th Capitol attack, including those convicted of assaulting police officers, because it's something that the Vice President, J.D. Vance, had said just a week before the inaugural would obviously not take place because violent people should not be pardoned.
Well, look, I wouldn't have pardoned any of them, frankly. They all look to be adults to me. They know full well that they had no business being on the Capitol grounds and certainly had no business whatever trying to get inside the Capitol building. and they acted the way they did. If you could kind of erase the Trump names, you'd say they were a bunch of left-wing demonstrators. And to me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter what your political philosophy is. This was a desecration of the Capitol. It was a sad day in American history. And to pardon them, even though it is taken to mean they admit their guilt, they've come out, they've shown no remorse at all. And other presidents have really insisted on demonstrations of this remorse, and Trump has ignored it. I'm not in any way defending the pardons that President Biden gave out on his way out the door. I think this whole thing is really causing a loss of faith in the institution of the integrity of the presidency, and it's just another sad aspect of our current politics.
I just want to point out that, of course, Dr. Fauci is a separate case. He has been under death threats, he and his adult children who don't even live here, because of anger among some of the president's supporters, MAGA supporters, for quite some time because of actions that they didn't like he took during the COVID crisis, even as he was working for the White House. Thank you very much, Ambassador John Bolton. Appreciate it.
Glad to be with you.